Boise's popular on the Ken Coleman Show. Natalie is in Boise. Natalie, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, thanks for taking my call, Ken.
Sure. Do you by any chance know Jennifer? We don't know her last name, but it was just Jennifer in Boise. Any chance you know Jennifer?
I don't know. I might have used her sign business before.
Hey, I like that. All right, Natalie, it's all you. How can I help?
So I am actually living my dream job right now. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I
Yay.
absolutely love it.
Love it.
And it's just a season, and I was a high school English teacher for 5 years, and I loved that. And to stay certified, you have to take so many classes every year. So I'm keeping my certification up in case I want to go back to teaching. But now that I've been out of teaching for about a year, I'm wondering if I want to pursue some other passions and maybe use these classes that I need to take anyway. So I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what's wise with my time, because my time is very precious to me with my daughter. So.
Well, I want you to keep asking me any questions that you have. I want to take kind of a higher level stab at what you just asked me. And I think how to determine what's wise is really your specific question, even though it's not as detailed. And I think you have to determine, okay, I've got X amount of hours per week. I think it's that simple. I think you really run that exercise out because you're in your dream right now. You're a stay-at-home mom. Let me tell you something. Natalie, I've got a soon-to-be 12-year-old. I got another 12-year-old. I've got a soon-to-be 15-year-old. It goes so fast. And so I love where your head and heart are. I think it's as simple as going, if you were my wife, I'd go, babe, how many hours do you legitimately have? Let's just be very conservative here, because you got some weeks where something goes on with the kid, right? Something gets rescheduled for the kids' sports or whatever, and it throws your whole day. So realistically, how much time do you have? I would challenge you to come up with a conservative number. If it's 5 hours, 3 hours a week, I don't know, it may be as much as 10. I don't know, you do. I would start there. Because once you have a realistic, it's like budgeting your money. You got to budget your time. And once you're realistic on what you really have, you go, all right, I have limited time, and so I'm going to apply that time like I would my money in a budget, and I'm going to put the money where it's making the most effect. So you're looking at, you're going, okay, what about this class over here, or what about this? Which of the things that I'm tinkering with and kicking around that I'd like to do to stay current on what's the highest priority? And so I would go at it that way. Is that answering your question for you?
It's starting to. The hard thing for me is, like, I've been listening to you for a while, and you really push people to say, well, what's the thing you would do if there was no, if you didn't have to worry about money or things like that. And the thing that I would love to do, as I honestly, ever since I was young, would love to be a writer. And I taught English, and I loved teaching writing, and I loved teaching. I just don't see myself going back to it anytime soon.
I don't ever see you going back. Let me free you from that.
Okay. Really?
Let me tell you why. When you just talked about writing, your whole tone changed.
Huh.
You've always wanted to be a writer. You said those words. So to me, teaching is only a day job option. Meaning if you just at some point want to go back and make a little bit of money for something or whatever, and because you're qualified, you could step back in and do it. Maybe you do it for a season to help further this dream of writing. But as far as doing teaching long term, I'm taking that off the table for you because it's nothing more than a functional day job. Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
Of course. What do you want to write? What if I told you, Natalie, go write, and in 2 to 3 years, you're going to be wildly successful as a writer? What does that look like? What's that mean? What are you writing? Novels? Educational books? What are you writing?
I think it'd be like, I don't know, some fiction or even some nonfiction, because I adopted my daughter internationally, and so I do a lot of like short writing, blog posts and things about that, and people are very interested in that. And so and I have started to write some, just using my experience as a high school teacher, writing some fiction. I just kind of did it for fun, and I really liked it. And and I love reading. I read like 50 books a year. So
wow.
I'm very interested in reading and writing. And so I don't know.
I want you to do both.
Yeah,
I want you to do both. I want you to keep writing about adoption issues and things that you've learned. And then I want you to also take a real, get after it. Don't let anybody see it until you want to show it to them. But I would write that first nonfiction piece. I'd write that first fiction piece. I really would. There's something in the actual writing when you commit to do it. And I'm not talking about, don't start this deal and go, well, I'm trying to write something that's going to get published. Don't even think about that. Write a story that you would want to read, that would entertain you, that would move you, that would inspire you, that would challenge you. Write that fiction story. And then when it's done, let's see what happens. You can self-publish it. You can start shopping it. And I'm actually going to send you to a friend of mine. She was actually on the program. We had her on our YouTube. We have the Allie Fallon, is the Allie Fallon conversation? It was on the podcast. Okay. But it's not on YouTube yet? Okay. I want you to look up Allison Fallon. Her website is ALLISON Fallon.com. Okay.
Okay.
And she was on our podcast. Is that searchable? It is. So they can go into the Ken Coleman Show podcast and search Allie Fallon. Okay. Will you promise me to do that, Natalie?
Yes, I promise I'll do that.
Because listen, it's free. Okay. And listen to the interview that I did with her. It's going to fire you up. Yeah. It's going to set you free. She's a mom, a new mom, but she's a writing coach and she's world class.
Okay.
And her website's got a bunch of great resources. And she could coach you, but she's got a great blog. I would follow her on Instagram. She's really, really great. I don't think there's anybody better at her when it comes to coaching and inspiring wannabe. Is that the little one there?
Yeah, she's giggling at me right now.
Well, that's fantastic. I love it. I thought she was laughing at me. But anyway, if you do that, I think you're going to be really inspired. So back to your initial question, where do you spend most of your time, that free time? I would spend it on writing.
Okay.
And again, if you need to keep your
classes, or
yes, I think you should sign up for what Allie's doing. She's the best.
Okay.
She's got great courses, and that's why I'm sending you to her. I think you should consider. I'm not endorsing it, saying you must do it. I'm saying I endorse her quality and I endorse her. And you make up your own mind if you want to pay for the classes. But I would start with her, and then I would also start writing as well. So hey, thanks for the call, and I love it. I love the. It may have been the child that said woo earlier. Oh, I thought it was Natalie. I was like, oh, this is exciting. Natalie's getting fired up, and it's like a little kid going woo, whatever. So oh well. Uncle Ken's always here to entertain the kids.